illegal lifts, because if you get 3 illegal lifts, you're out of the contest. And we don't want that to happen to anybody. So kind of pay attention. Today is obviously the bench press and the deadlift. We're going to go over each for you at this time. We're not going to split it up. Okay, so first of all, we're going to talk about the bench press. You will be back here in the warm-up area, and Susie will announce the flights when we get done with the rules briefing, so you know what flight you're in. We're going to have 2 flights today. Okay, all of flight 1 will do all of their benches first, all 3 attempts. Then flight 2 will do all their benches. Then we'll get rid of the bench. We'll start the deadlift in the same rotation. Okay. When your name is called, she will usually call the next lifter, the weight on the bar, and she will call the person on deck and the person in the hole. Stay back there until you're the lifter. Once the weight is on the bar and we've adjusted the height to what you have said you wanted, then the head official, whichever one of us it is, will say bar ready. Once we say bar ready, you've got 1 minute to get on the platform, get adjusted, and get your first signal. Okay? The first signal will be after you take the bar off or you get a lift off and you're locked out at full arms extension. If you have an injury or something where you can't lock out one arm or the other one, you have to declare that every time you come up to each one of the officials. So we know. You might tell us the first time, we might forget by the second time. Okay? Not just because some of us are old, but because there's so many people, we can't remember everything. Okay? So once you get on the bench and you get set up and you're ready to go, you'll lift the bar off, or a spotter will take the bar and lift it off for you. And your own coach can do that if you wish. Okay? Once you get the bar off and you're at a full arms extension, you're going to get the signal start. Okay? Once you start down with the bar, it has to stop on your chest momentarily. Okay? We're not going to have you hold it for a second or 2 seconds or anything like that. There's 3 different commands. You have to make sure you listen to the commands. The first one is start. When the bar is on your chest, and it's almost instantaneously, we will say press. Then you lift the weight to the top, and it must be an even extension, no uneven extensions. Okay, even extension all the way to the top, and lock out the same way you did when you took the bar off of the racks. Okay, arms have to be locked. Then we'll say rack. If you miss any one of those signals, you're going to get red lighted. You don't want red lights. Red lights, if you have 2 red lights, the lift is no good. If you get 2 or 3 white lights, the lift is good. Okay? If you get 2 red lights, you have the opportunity to raise it for the next attempt if you want, but you can't lower it. You can keep it the same. If you want to repeat that weight, you may keep it the same, but you cannot lower it. Once we have the weight on the bar, the weight never goes down. It can only go up. Okay? So, once we say start, then rack, then press.
No. Start, then press, then rack.
Oh yeah, duh. Start, then press, then. I was just seeing if they were listening. Start, press, rack. That's why she comes, to double check me. That's why they all come. Anyway, duh. I'm telling you to remember the signals, and I'm not remembering myself. Okay, anyway, so you got 3 signals. What are they?
Start, rack, press.
See, Greg, we leave it to you. Anyway, so when you get the signal start, your feet have to be flat on the floor. Okay, your butt has to be on the bench. Your shoulders have to be on the bench. If you raise your head during the lift, that's okay. But it cannot hang off the end of the bench. So your head, your shoulders, your butt, your feet flat on the floor. You cannot, when we say start, you cannot roll your feet to the side. You cannot get up on your toes. The feet have to remain in position. If you have a little incidental movement or something, we're not going to call that. If you're up here doing a dance, we're going to call it. Okay? The feet have to remain stationary. All right? Once we say start, you cannot readjust your position. If your butt comes off the bench, you're going to get a red light. Okay? And a lot of people set up with a big arch. That's fine. You can do that. But just remember, the butt can't come up. If it does, you're going to get red lighted. That's why we have 3 officials. So everybody can see what you're doing. All right? Also, when you come up here to grab the bar, your hand cannot go any farther outside this scroll mark than your index finger. Okay? You can't grab it out here. It's got to be no farther than the index finger. You can grab it as far in as you want. So we want to make sure that if your hands aren't inside, that we can't see this scroll mark. Okay? Because if we do, we're going to tell you to regrip the bar. Okay? Now, once you take it off, you can't put it back and regrip it. Also, your thumb has to be around the bar. We don't use any false grips. Okay? So make sure your thumb's around the bar. If you're using wrist straps, the elastic band that you use for tightening them has to be removed from your thumb. Okay? You can't get on the bench with any of that. Don't get on the bench with the wrist straps here or try and tighten your wrist straps on the bench. Once you get on here on the bench, you've got to be ready to go. Your costume has to be in place. The straps are up. Yesterday we had 2 people that come up to the bench. We had to send them back to put their straps up. Okay? That's on you. That's on your minute. If you time out, the lift's no good. Okay? As soon as you finish your first attempt or your second attempt, you go to the expediter, which is Tom, and you give him your next attempt. When you're doing that, make sure you look at the kilo conversion chart. Don't go up there and say, I want 300, because you're going to get 660 pounds on the bar. Okay? We were at one contest where the guy said, after he did it, we put 660 on the bar. And he says, hey, I wanted 300 pounds. We go, you got 660 pounds. You want to try it? He didn't try it. Okay? So, again, just make sure that you give it to him in kilos. Don't think automatically he's going to adjust it for you, because he's not. That's your responsibility. So remember, you got a kilo conversion chart on the walls back there. Look at those, know exactly what you're doing, and then come up here. Your coach can help you once you're off the platform. Okay? So just make sure that you study that. Okay? Now, there's some few things that can disqualify you. Jason, you want to demonstrate? Throwing your cell phone at one of the officials is one of them. Okay. If he takes the bar and does not wait for the start signal, takes the bar down, the lift's over. We're going to tell you to re-rack the bar. Okay? You got red lights. If you take the bar off and you take it down to your chest and we say press, or if you beat the sound, before we say press, you're going to get red lighted. If you take the bar down and you get it on your chest and we say press, you cannot heave the bar. Okay, heaving the bar would be pushing with your chest, sinking the bar into your chest and pushing with your chest to get it off. You can't do that. Okay? The second thing, or third thing is, the bar has to come up at the same time, both sides. When you come up, you can't be lowering one side or the other. So if you're coming up uneven, when you raise one side, the other side goes down. And once you get the press signal, you can never lower the bar, either side of it. If you come up uneven, but at the same time, and that never goes down, that's a legal lift. You can do that. Okay, but it has to come down the same, it has to go up the same way it came down. All right?
Do the timing.
What?
The timing of the signals.
Oh, okay. Anyway, we're going to give you an example of how it's going to go time-wise. Okay? So you take the bar off on your own. Okay? Now the bar is stationary.
Start. Press. Rack.
That's going to be the pace that it's going to go. Okay? Now, if you take that bar down to your chest and you're moving it back and forth, you're not going to get the press signal. So, you danced pretty well on that bench. We have to understand he's a fireman. But he started that yesterday first.
If I lay here too long, I'm going to take a nap.
All right, press and rack, and that's the way it's going to go. Any questions? I already said that once, but yeah.
Remind me.
Yeah. Okay, now the order of lifting might change on your second attempt. Now on your first attempt, Susie's gonna read what flights they are. And it goes by your weight that you're lifting. And you might be following somebody that's lifting a certain weight. Let's say that they came out here and they don't get their weight, okay? And you're following them. And then you come up the next time and maybe they get more than you do. That doesn't mean, on your third attempt, that doesn't mean you're gonna follow them again. It goes by the weight on the bar. So you have to listen for your name. Don't depend on what you're seeing from other people, okay? Listen for your name. And again, you're gonna have 1 minute once we say bar is ready, okay? The other thing is, what am I forgetting? What?
And make sure feet are planted.
Oh, second attempts. Yeah, if you're either attempt, if you're setting a record, are the records posted back?
Yes.
Okay. The records are posted in the warm-up area. If you are going for a record, when you come out here, you tell the scoring table you're going for a record and the judges when you get on the bench. Susie will announce that to the crowd, okay? We want that information out there so people know. What am I forgetting?
A lot of people were out in the shows yesterday.
Well, I already addressed that.
Spotters.
Lift off.
What?
Lift offs for John Lifter.
Oh, yeah, I said if you have a coach that wants to lift off for you, that's fine.
And if they
No,
do, you
coaches.
step off to the left. Oh.
Coaches, if you're lifting off and you come up here and you grab this bar and you lift off to them, get out of the way. You have to go out here to this side, because if you're standing in front of the head judge, your lifter's not going to get a signal. They're going to be sitting there holding the bar as long as you're standing there. You know, so make sure if you're lifting off for somebody, you get out of the way.
And
We have people that will lift off for you also.
And there's no coaching from the platform. You can't stand next to the judge yelling at your
No,
lifter.
you have to be off the platform once you lift off.
Where is the coach's area?
I'm sorry?
Where is the coach's area?
You can be behind the ropes, but you can't be on the platform coaching your lifter.
You can come up and lift off and then get off the platform.
You can yell you can coach them all you want from behind the ropes, but it's just, if you're on the platform, we can't hear the signals from each other, and it becomes a mess.
Okay, any questions? All right, let's talk about the deadlift, okay? The deadlift, you're only gonna get one signal for the deadlift. So when you come out here and you approach the bar, after we say bar ready, don't get on the platform, the head judge says bar's ready. You come up, you approach the bar, you can either use a conventional deadlift, conventional stat, or you can use a sumo stance.
You can cheat.
Either one, that's up to you. We will have somebody standing behind you also, because we've had numerous times, and especially when we get to the heavier weights, when somebody will deadlift and as soon as they put it down, they'll pass out. And so somebody will be back here to try and assist you to the floor if that happens. And it does happen, okay? So, when you come up and you approach the bar, you're not gonna get a start signal. You get up, you grab the bar, whichever grip you want, no straps, no assistance with the lifting, okay? You get up, you grab the bar, you pull it up evenly, the same thing, it can't go down on one side. It has to come up evenly, and once you are in a full standing position, okay, and you're locked out, then your signal is going to be down. That means you're lowering the bar now. If you drop the bar, or if you slam it on the ground, you're gonna get red lighted. You have to control the bar all the way up and all the way down. That doesn't mean you have to lower it at the same rate you lifted it, but you've gotta control the bar all the way to the ground, okay?
This is not CrossFit.
Yeah,
Don't get up to the top and throw your bar.
yeah. And the other thing is, if you do it, you're probably gonna get red light. You've seen people come up, they'll lift the bar up here, then they throw their shoulders back and relax. But when they do that, the bar goes down. So you're gonna get red lighted. When you get to the top, lock out. You don't have to do this, okay? And you see people do that all the time. And if you do that, the bar is probably gonna descend a little bit, you're gonna get red lighted. So just make sure your lifts are nice and even, and they're steady, and they come up together. And again, it doesn't have to be perfectly parallel with the floor, but it's gotta be together until you lock out. You will get the signal and the hand signal from the judge down. And that's when you lower the weight, okay?
Show them hitching.
The what?
Show them hitching.
Oh, yeah. When you're lifting the weight up and you get, like, you'll see people get it up to here and it's heavy, and then they start hitching it on their thighs. You just got red lighted. It's got to be a smooth lift, no hitching, no thrusting, okay? Make it just like you're just standing up. That's all you're doing. Holding the bar at full arm's length. Do not get up here to the top and try and lift it with just your arms, because you're starting to do a curl and the bar is going to go back down. You're going to get red lighted again. So just make sure that you stay even with the bar all the way up, even going down. You control the bar all the way to the ground, okay? Deadlift goes a lot faster than bench press. We will probably complete the deadlift probably a little bit over half of the time we take for bench press. And listen to what we say and listen to what Susie says, because a lot of times the weight doesn't change. So one person might finish and she says same weight, and we're saying bar's ready. So the next lifter has to get on the platform, okay? You're not gonna get an extra minute or two. Once we say bar's ready, you gotta go take it. Any other questions? Okay. What we'd like to do.
Flights are posted on the far wall.
The what?
Flights are posted on the far wall.
Yeah, are the flights posted already?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the flights are posted on the wall over there, and the flights are gonna be at what's the cutoff?
181 and up.
181 and
All
up
women,
is gonna be
yeah.
flight 2. 165 and below is flight 1.
And all females.
And all female on flight 1.
Yeah. Flight 1.
It's all females, yes, everybody up to 181.
Some female
You can allow
No.
fourth attempts for records? You can allow fourth attempts for records?
No fourth attempts. If you break a record on the third attempt, then you'll get the third attempt. We do not do fourth attempts, okay? Any other questions?
Records are also posted on the far wall.
And also, as soon as we're done here, you're gonna announce the flights, right? Susie will announce the flights with the order of lifting. We will give you 5 minutes before we start if you wanna change your opening attempts. After that, what you have is what you're gonna get, okay? And we would like to make sure that everybody thinks about sportsmanship, okay? We all get along, we all have a good time. We don't want any violent tempers. If there's any profanity used on the platform, you're probably gonna get disqualified, okay? If you wanna talk under your breath about one of us, go outside, because we don't wanna hear it, okay? So, good sportsmanship. We're all firemen or police. Let's keep it as a family like we normally do.
And for the spectators, this isn't tennis. You can make some noise.
I already
Support the lifter.
Okay, what we'd like to do now is have a moment of silence for all the police and fire that have passed away this year.